close. All right, let's see. Working? All right. Bitrate looks good. You look good. You all look good. Let's see here. Good. That look. Let's see. Oof, 10 o'clock. Come on, Mike. Come on. Sure. What is the deal? Where has my audio gone? Where has my audio gone? Where? Okay, Mike, you're officially late. You better get this going. Okay, where did you go? Frickin' bother. Great, okay, fine. Come on, audio, where are you at? What is the deal? Okay, all right. Take a breath. Okay, you look good. That looks good. Come on, what is the deal? I want to give you what is the freaking uh-oh. Oh, please don't tell me that's the case. Nope, that's not working either. I cannot do that. Oh yeah, that's going to be a disaster. Let's try this. Please work. Please work. Maybe? Is this working? Let's see. Is that working? Good morning, everybody. Okay, so yeah, busy morning. My name is Michael Kyer. I use he, they pronouns. I come out here on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 a.m. to stream about live streaming and video conferencing and software. And I've had a busy morning. I had a software Windows update first thing in the morning, And I usually test out or check my updates in the morning and then in the evening. And this morning was a restart update, so I had to restart and just got here by barely. And I think I had a hot mic there at the beginning, so if you heard me, sorry about that. I was just testing my system. So anyway, I'm here today. I've made it. I'm just a few minutes late. That happens once in a while, but it seems to be happening more these days the more complicated I go with my setup. So it's going to be a great show. Today what we're talking about is the Phase 3 Part 2 of how to create a large online event. And we've been talking the last few weeks about all the setup piece of this, and we got documents, getting some media prepared, some graphics, some video, some pre-recorded video, and this week we're kind of starting to put that all together. We did moderators and co-hosts on Monday, and today we're going to be working on the presentations, how to use your share screens, and hopefully get into a little bit of OBS and the virtual camera so that you can send your slideshow or your video into Zoom. So I'm going to be working with some of those, going over just some basics, screen shares for beginners, more or less. So that's where we're going to be at with that. Everything is looking good, I think. Good morning, Joe. I see you're out there. I got a couple other people out there on Facebook. Good morning. So that's kind of the plan for today. I'm going to go over some of that. But I have been remiss in my duties as a software person. I always try to remind people to update their software, whether it's Zoom or Windows or that type of thing. A regular reminder to do that is something I wanted to try and build into my show, but I've kind of skipped over that a couple of different times now. But updating your stuff is important. In my opinion, it's better to be updated and have to deal with maybe anything that comes along with that update versus being not updated and being exposed to whatever the current zero-day exploit is of the flavor of the day, so to speak, depending. There was a big one for your text editor or your text programs, and that one is just a mess. So if you're out there, please update your systems. That's kind of really important when it comes to making sure that all this is going to hopefully work. I've got a ton of different things laid out here today, so I hope my feed is looking good. If I've got people out there in the chat, let me know. If it gets a little bit choppy, it'll probably be better here after I get going and I can close down some more things. But I closed down just about everything I can, I think. So that's where we're at today. I'm coming at you from Zoom today, streaming to Restream from Zoom. So I'm going to use Zoom's screen share, and then I'm going to use some OBS as well to kind of recapture and re-show some of these things. So if I get this isn't totally polished, I apologize ahead of time because I was sort of scampering there at the end to get this up and running. But as of right now, everything looks good. So we're going to get into this. Presentations. This is a big part of a lot of your events. You're going to be sharing your slides, sharing video, sharing audio, and making a good presentation. There's some few things that we can do, best practices there, but then you've got the technical end of it, of how to actually share, use your share screen. So, and the real key is when you're live, time changes. It stretches out. 5 seconds when you're live can seem like minutes. So if you're going to do your share screen or something doesn't quite go right with your share screen, it only takes a couple of seconds to actually do those click-throughs to get your share screen going. But when you're live, it seems like forever. It really does. It can seem just like, you can panic. It's really easy to panic. when you're trying to do that. So the stuff we've worked on up to this point, preparing for this and getting familiar and getting some muscle memory built up is really important when you're live, so that you're not doing that panic scamper. And you can always go back to your checklists. So I pulled those up. We'll show those real quick, because I usually have either a scene list or my script off to one side so I can follow along where I'm at. So in case I get lost, I can refer back to what it is I'm supposed to be sharing. So we're going to get to the technical pieces of that. And the share screen for Zoom especially is only, it takes, I think, 4 seconds. 1 button, 2 buttons, 3 buttons, and you're sharing your screen. So getting to that point and understanding that it's not a ton of buttons to do will kind of hopefully make things a little bit easier once you're actually doing your share screen, your videos, whatever it is you're using. So let's see where we're at. Yeah, time dilation, that's a big one. Time stretches out. Now you're bound to make mistakes. You're bound to not have things set up correctly or set up late or whatever it is. So getting mentally prepared that you're going to make some mistakes is piece of this, getting your event, your large online event, out there and in front of your audience. So I've said this before, but if you're short of everything but problems, then you're doing it correctly. So that's one of my sort of standard operating thought processes. In addition to you go and you're going to make your mistake, being able to correct it and troubleshoot it. And again, back to the muscle memory, being able to correct it and troubleshoot it is something. It's a skill. It's a skill, but you will get there once you start rolling and once you start getting that tape going and recording. I'm glad I'm going to YouTube because I am not recording. So I'm glad I remembered that. Okay, I guess I'll have to just not do that right now. And then beyond correcting and troubleshooting, testing. Beforehand, try and get out there and test what you're doing so that you know how it shows up to your audience. What's going on with your screen looks different than what is going to be shown to your audience. You may have, just a highlighted box of what you're showing. It might be running through another program, so your program that you're running and into Zoom could be looking 2 different things. So that testing will give you an idea of what that point of view that your audience is going to see. So if my point of view is that I've got the gallery view on my Zoom meeting, my audience isn't going to see my gallery view. My audience is going to see that single feed, and then they can adjust their gallery view if they need to. So when you're crafting your event, your audience's point of view is a really primary thought that you need to kind of switch around to get used to, that what you're seeing and what your audience is seeing are 2 different things. And you really can't effectively craft your event around, I want my audience to see the gallery view. I want my audience only to see me. If you try and add that layer of things, especially with Zoom, it'll just confuse and you won't be able to effectively make it happen. I've tried it. I've tried to, you can ask your audience, can you switch over to gallery view? You can use the spotlight function to just give that one single feed. You could do it a webinar method, a one-way feed out, and you're going to have that one screen, but you're not going to be able to necessarily add that gallery view to the way you want your event to look. So that's been some confusion in the past as far as how that works. So really think in terms of that single video feed, that single frame, and then it'll make that point of view switch a little bit easier to do. So then we get into the audience comfort. That's what I was talking about with the point of view, audience comfort. When you're doing your presentations, we want to use best practices, especially if you're using slides. Use graphics, use your video, but a whole bunch of text on a slide just doesn't work. Nobody's going to read it. I mean, if you need to have text, keep it as minimal as possible. If you've got a whole block of text that you want to run, that you need to talk about, if it's something like, I don't know, if you're having something detailed like a budget meeting or some sort of more of a complex planning, like a strategic planning meeting where you've got a lot of different things, make it an email. Put it on another platform, an asynchronous platform, whether it's a shared Google document, or you could use Discord or a Zoom channel, side chat, or an email. That is a more effective use to get that text message over to your audience. And you can use the chat for certain things. You can. But chat is really better used for short form text. So if you wanted to put a link to your document or whatever it is, that is a good way to use chat. But a full paragraph on chat it's just going to go scrolling right by. So if you were doing something in your presentation like putting lyrics in, you want to keep those in smaller chunks. And it's because the chat is only so big. So, posting an entire paragraph of, what your thoughts are is not going to work in the chat. It just doesn't. It's not effective. And then because it gets kicked further up the line, and so you're going to try and read. So short form text in the chat is going to enhance your presentation. And so all of that longer block text, put that somewhere where your audience can pull it up on their own, either in a browser or something along those lines, so that they can refer to it, they can still see it. But then again, you need to build that into your planning ahead of time. You want to be able to either link out to that before, or have it an accessible link, and tell your audience that we're going to have links, so that they can be ready for it. That goes in back to preparing your audience in your giving out your guest instructions, your instructions to your co-hosts, and that type of thing. So, audience comfort. Keep the text to a minimum on the screen, please. That's just my opinion on it. So, email, yep, chat, live, use chat versus how to plan. And then in the chat, when you're using your chat for your presentation, if you're building that into your thing, have a plan on how to deal with those questions. If you're going to be taking questions immediately, be ready for that. If you're not going to be taking questions immediately, answering those questions immediately, you want to communicate that to your audience, but you don't want to necessarily jump right in and somebody, says, oh, hi in the chat, and you're going to totally sideline your presentation. So having that clear in your mind of what is my plan for this, you'll have that hopefully in your planning documents ahead of time. And so that when you get there, chat lights up, you've got tons of people in your meeting, and it's just great, and you can just let that chat roll. And if you're lucky enough to be with a moderator or a co-host, they can sit there and hopefully keep an eye on it, make sure it's going, make sure it's not going out of control. So I'm going to check my chat, actually, because I was so pushed for time this morning Peter's here. Hi, Peter. How you doing? Morning. I was so pushed for time this morning that I did not get everything opened up the way I want. So that's where that's at. And okay, YouTube looks better. I had a couple of little hiccups with the YouTube chat the other day that I had to take care of, and that was a little bit of a pain. So, okay, looking good there, looking good there. All right, So we are going to get into some of the more technical bits of this now. How to use your Zoom share screen, how to use OBS to send over an image of either a slideshow or video or whatever it is of using a virtual camera. So those are the two pieces we're going to do next. And that'll give you some of those hard skills of this is what this looks like when you go to do it, and practice. Definitely practice. So what am I going to do first? I'm going to go with my, I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm going to take a little second here, everybody, to adjust. So, because I've got too many things. Nope, I don't want to do that. Too many things. All the stuff and things. All the stuff and things. All the stuff and things. Okay. It's a little bit less disconcerting. I have on my monitors that I use to moderate my own meeting. I have my other meeting pulled up, so I've got myself talking to myself right here, and it can be a little, make you go a little wonky here and there. So I need to, all right, now I'm going to switch my camera over. I'm going to be switching over and using my OBS to send a picture of my main screen so that I can show you Zoom, because you can't use Zoom to demonstrate Zoom. When you go to use the Zoom share screen, all of your Zoom windows will be, all of your Zoom windows will be obscured. There'll be little hash marks. You won't be able to see what you're doing. So if you're somebody who, if you're doing like a demonstration about Zoom, like I'm doing right now, or you're trying to show somebody, you know, a friend of yours or whatever it is, how Zoom works, that you have to keep in mind. You can't show Zoom with Zoom. So that's something that was a little... Okay. All right. Here we go. All right. I'm going to cut my camera here real quick so that I can switch over. Okay. Now you can't see me anymore, but I'm still here, I promise. I promise. So what I'm doing now is I am going to send my OBS, I turned on the virtual camera, so OBS will send a feed here into Zoom, so that in just a second what you'll be getting is the feed from OBS. So let's see if this is going to work. This is going to work. This is going to work. Yeah, I need to polish this up a little bit and practice this more, because this didn't quite work out the way I wanted it to. But that's what happens when you're live sometimes. OBS virtual camera and start. There we go. Okay, so what you've got now is a picture of my main monitor. And you can see me down here while I was moving with OBS. And just to show you that I'm still here, I'll show you that I'm still here. Oh, is that going to work? Yeah. There I am. I'm still here. You can see me. So now I'm using OBS, but switching between the Zoom camera and the OBS can get kind of clogged up a little bit once in a while. Oh, and that's reversed. Okay, so you are seeing a reversed image, is my guess. Is that reversed? No, it's not reversed. Okay, so first thing, you can mirror the image of your Zoom feed. And so when you're sending from OBS, you're going to have to make sure that you're not mirroring if you've got that set, so it can show up backwards. Which is what I thought it was doing, but it's not doing that. So, all right, let's see if I can make this happen. And, all right, what am I going to do? infinite, 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 infinite. Okay, this is what I need to work on. In case anybody's watching, this is what I need to work on right here, is this part. So, what am I going to do? Troubleshooting. What am I going to do for this? I want to show that. Okay, this will work. Let me see. Will this work? This will work. This is what I'll do. This is what I will do. This is what I will do. Alright. Okay. There you can see. Let's see, is that going to work? Later. That is. Let's see, how does that show up? Is that showing up the way I want it to? Nope, that's not doing what I want it to do. All right. Sorry about this, everybody. I'm trying to get this. Okay. All right. 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 Okay. So, yeah. All right. That's gonna work. All right, back on track. One of those things I didn't practice that I should have practiced. Yeah. So anyway, just about half an hour. We got a little bit of talking about some of the things to think about when you're doing your presentation and you're crafting your presentation. My name is Michael Kyer. I use he, they pronouns. I'm out here Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific, streaming, talking about software, video conferencing, live streaming, to hopefully teach a little bit of the stuff that I've learned over the last few years. I started streaming with my church right about the beginning of quarantine and been going every Sunday since then, and I've worked with all sorts of different folks with different sized meetings, different sized events, and I've learned a lot. And so hopefully I'm trying to bring some of that out and show that and put that out in a way that makes makes a little bit of sense anyway. And then this morning I run into things like I just did, which didn't make any sense if you were just watching the last couple of minutes of this. So you're in your presentation now. All right, we're in our meeting. We've got our meeting going, and we're going to do a basic how to use the Zoom share screen. All right, and what I'm going to do again before I go too far with this is I'm going to turn that off so you don't have to see that. Okay, so it's a little bit less. There, that is actually looking reasonable. So you've got your Zoom meeting, and we're going to be using our share screen. So first off, you have to have this set to be able to use the share screen. All right, to be able to have your co-hosts or your host use what they're using to be able to share that, and that is reversed. Actually, I can't tell if it's reversed. Oh boy, I really confused myself today. Doing too many things all at once is what I was doing. I have reached my task saturation, which I talk about regularly, and now I need to go back to my checklists. Okay, so Zoom share screen, and we've got to make sure we've got that set ahead of time in our Zoom web portal so that we know that that's an option, that will show up in our meeting. And then once we're in our meeting, we have to give people permission to use it. So that'll be in your security buttons. and then we'll either allow our participants to share the screen or we'll make them a co-host. And in this case, I brought in a couple of my other friends here, and I made them co-hosts, so each one of them could use the. I'm looking at that's why. Oh bother! I got to deal with you. Thank you very much. All right, so hopefully that's taken care of. Then your co-hosts are going to be able to use their share screen and do the same things that we're gonna show you here real quick. So yeah, this one got all over the place. Okay. All right. So share screen. When you're live and you've got your share screen running, that's your next step in what you're going to do. There really are only a couple of steps to this. So this part is simple, even though I made it seem like a complete mess here a second ago. This part is actually pretty simple. You only have, once you have the share screen activated and you can use it, it's to get that share screen up, it's share screen, choose what you want to show. So in this case, it's going to be a PowerPoint presentation. Choose what you want to show. Decide if you want to share your computer sound or not. And then do the share screen. And depending on, oh, this is not working the way I want it to work. Okay, so now what you're seeing is a share screen of just that PowerPoint presentation. Oh yeah, that's why I'm not working. Okay, yeah, so I'm figuring this out as I go along. All right, this is not working the way I wanted it to work. I have got this presentation all completely turned around and backwards, everyone. I am not going to be able to get this to do what I want it to do. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to cut this and make this a video so that I don't have to juggle my live stream with this technical presentation of the how to use the share screen. This just is not going to work live the way I wanted it to work. So I'm going to have to just call it quits on that one. And that is just unfortunate because I just am not going to make it. I'm not going to get it there. Sorry, everybody. I'm just not going to make it happen today. It's not going to work. There. Okay. And that is how you make a complete mess of your live stream. New title. How to make a complete mess of your live stream. So anyway, let me tell you what was going on while I got all confused. A couple of things. Okay, that was great. Couple of things there. One is I got distracted in one of the chats. I've got an issue with my filter. My filter's not working, and so I'm getting chats through that I don't want to have in there. So I had to take care of that. So that was number one. I got sidetracked with that while I was trying to do what I was doing to show you how to use Zoom with OBS, and the process in my mind is simple enough, but I'm also juggling my live stream. And I think I'm just got too many things to juggle there. I think I definitely need to practice that. workflow a little bit better to make that show up correctly, because that's just not going the way I thought it was going to go. But so that's what happened. I got kind of crossed wires on that one. So anyway, yeah, that's how not to do a presentation. That's it, right there. You just saw it. That's not how to do it. So anyway, now I don't even know what to do. I don't even know what I want to do for the rest of the stream. So if you want to make fun of me right now, this would be a great time, because I can just pull up the chat. Actually, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull up the chat and see if anybody just wants to make fun, because that was just too much. That was just too much. All right. No, looks like everybody left. Okay, so yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm just going to edit this whole part. I'm just going to cut it there, and I'll rename the front part of this something, and I don't know what I'm going to do after that. I'm going to work on making this presentation work is what I'm going to do, because it's not working the way I wanted it to. So anyway, with a small amount of embarrassment and humility, I'm going to leave it there for today, and I'm going to go and do a little bit of work and try and figure something out. You gotta love it. Gotta love it. So anyway, my name is Michael Kyer, and I use he, they pronouns. I'm out here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday streaming or trying to, and showing some of the things I've learned, or how to not do some of the things I've learned, depending on which day it is and which part of the stream we're in. So anyway, all right, I've had enough fun for today, I think. And I'm gonna leave it at that. So